Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm jump over here to a Hot Mess Discipleship, episode 19. So it's dark. Got kids' toys scattered all over the house, all over the carport out here. I'm out here picking them up, and should be my kids fixing the mess, but it's me. You know, got me to thinking about how. I wonder how God feels about that. You know, like we're down here messing stuff up and making a mess and then walking away and just leaving it ragged and then blaming him for how come things didn't go right or wrong or whatever. And man, it's crazy that we would do that. But I think about how, you know, it should be my kids' responsibility to pick up these toys. And normally it is. But we let the nighttime creep up on us. But I got to thinking about the relation between my kids and me and how they are towards me versus how I am towards God. And see, the thing is like all that craziness, all that stuff right there, like they did that. That was their fault. They left that mess out. And when there's a mess in my life, it's normally because I did something, not because God's trying to punish me or whatever. I mean, God's character is not that way. Like, that's not who God is. He doesn't do that. He doesn't orchestrate chaos and calamity and whatever in our lives. We do that. Not him. That's not in his character to be that way. He's not facetious. He's not going to try to tear you down or make you feel bad, right? That's the devil's job. That's what he does. That's his character. The devil's a punk, and he prowls around like we talked about last week, looking for somebody to steal, kill, and destroy, looking for somebody's life to make a mess up. Come on, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm out here making a video. Yeah, so character. God's got character that is loving. God's got character that is our best interest in mind. Satan does not have that character. So if we think about it, like if you're running around and you can't find your keys, that's not God's fault. God's not punishing you. You just need to figure out where you put your daggone keys. It ain't like God's hiding your keys from you, trying to make you have a bad day. It ain't like that. So we need to stop pushing everything off on God and saying God's trying to punish you or this and that. Like that ain't how he rolls, man. That's not his character. Think about Abraham. We talked about this yesterday in church in Sunday school. Abraham and how much he trusted God, and he uprooted his whole life and went where God told him to go. And then when Isaac was a teenager, God said, "Hey, bro, take him up the mountain and sacrifice him." Abraham was like, "Roger that, copy that." And he didn't ask, not like he just did it. There wasn't no question, because Abraham knew what God had said. God had promised that there would be many nations from him. God had promised to take care of him. God had promised to deliver, and he's always delivered before. So there's no reason for us to ever think that God's not going to deliver. There's no reason for us to ever think that his character is ever going to change, because it can't. It's impossible for God's character to change. Yeah. Abraham's a good example of that. And think about this too. Like, think about Isaac and how he felt in this situation. When, you know, because he was old enough to realize that he's like, "Look, bro, we don't have no sacrifices." What he told Abraham, he said, "Hey, Father, we don't have no sacrifice." And you know what Abraham did? Abraham said to him, he said, "You know what? God's going to provide. God's going to provide. God's going to provide. God's going to provide." And God did provide. But it wasn't until after Abraham strapped his son to the altar and picked up the knife and was about to slay him, God was like, whoa. I know your character. I know you will not keep him from me. And they looked up and there was a ram in the thicket. God provided. God's going to provide. He loves you. He loves me. He loves his children. So if you got chaos and calamity in your life, and it seems like it's always a constant deal, you need to take a look in the mirror and figure out what you're doing to create that. And stop blaming it on God, because God does not create that kind of stuff. He's not the author of that. That's the devil, or that's just us being lazy or forgetting stuff or acting some type of way because we got up in our feelings. So, all right, remember God's character. He loves us. He wants what's best for us. Love you guys.